Hi, I'm Bruce, and one thing that you should know about me is that I have ADHD. The topic of rebranding disability brings brand strategy to mind. A successful brand to me is built on three things: an authentic story, a clear competitive advantage, and a value proposition that's unique. Extending this framework to disability has enabled me to craft a strategy to rebrand my own ADHD and to use my achievements to power the rebrand. First, there is a brand story. This is our lived experience, the authentic narrative. My story is one of a unique and stark difference. I grew up in Rwanda not knowing that I had ADHD. I struggled, and just surviving in a non-accommodating environment, to me, that was my first triumph. But that's one part of the story. The other part is knowing. Getting my diagnosis wasn't a liability. It was the key to my own story. It gave me the power to start self-advocating, to adapt, and to understand my own progress. When I was in the space between knowing and not knowing, I felt lost in life. And I believe that in understanding this, I was able to understand the magnitude of the new information that I'd just gotten. However, it was just as much an insight into who I had been able to become thus far without that much information. Second, a brand's competitive advantage comes into play. This is what sets it apart. For me and my ADHD brain isn't less than because of its state. It's different. And this is my competitive advantage. It sees patterns, connections, and solutions that linear thinking might miss. My disability, quote unquote, is actually the source of my creativity and my ability to hyper-focus on problems I'm passionate about, like computer science, is something that I attribute so much to my ADHD. It is what lends me high activation and energy that makes me making connections with different people, different types, different walks of life easier. To me, this is a strength in the right environment. Finally, there is the unique value proposition. This is the clear value that the brand will bring to the market. As I prepare for my master's in computer science at DePaul, I'm not just anticipating challenges like distractions, task completion, task tracking, and the many more that come with living with ADHD. Instead, I'm focused on the value that I would contribute. The tech world desperately needs new ways of thinking, new approaches, a form of overhaul, and adding different ways of thinking. My nonlinear, divergent mind is my value proposition in this case. The ability to see the world differently is exactly what's needed to build a better one and to understand the current one. So that's my rebrand of ADHD. The story of resilience, the advantage of a unique mind, and the value of a different perspective.